It's your girl, Nicole Cherise. I am back. Y'all know the intro. Sorry, I've been ghosting for a while. But your girl's here. All right. And just in time for season 12 of Married at First Sight. Anyway, listen. So far, we have been introduced to the 5 couples. So far, we have seen the weddings of Brianna and Vincent. We also have seen the wedding of Virginia and Eric. And we also saw the wedding of Clara and Ryan. We still have up Chris and Paige. And I'm so sorry, I forgot the last couple's name. Somebody help me out there. And here we are. Also, please, even though I know I miss tardy to the party, please, definitely like, subscribe so that we can stay in touch and in contact. I really appreciate that. Like, you all are like my YouTube family. Like, there's other, channels that I follow, and I really, really like these people. And like I said, I consider them my YouTube fam now. So let me just get right into it. So everyone on the blogs, everyone on YouTube, you name it under the sun, has so much to say about this season. It's truly a doozy. Some people consider this to be the first season of an interracial couple, which would be the Clara and Ryan relationship. Personally, I remember, Miami or Southern Florida, where there were 2 couples there that I believe was interracial as well, all depending on your take on that. You know what I'm trying to say? And maybe that's why people feel this is definitely like the first season. But the other couples were, white male and Latino women. And like I said, depending on your take on that, could be, the deal breaker if this is really what you consider a first interracial couple with Clara and Ryan. But either way, nonetheless, it's the first interracial couple. Then we also have someone who's been married before, which is Eric, so we're going to see how that dynamic plays out too. I have to say that right now, my favorites in the running is definitely Brianna and Vincent. I think that they probably will go the full route. Both of them bring something to the table. I feel that they just really complement each other, and I think they're going to have fun. Of course, there's going to be like time that they're going to have to learn and compromise, because I can tell Brianna got like a little bit of voice in this, a lot of bit of voice in this, because that's what they kept saying over and over from her family and friends, wanting Vincent to know about her, is that, she's bossy. She's bossy. They wanted to keep, make sure that was clear. And not for nothing, a woman who is independent like herself, who's done for herself for so long, she wants things her way. You know what I mean? So that's not surprising to hear. But I'm very, either way, I'm really happy to see them. And I know some people was giving Vincent some flack because of how he acted at the bachelor party. Not for nothing. These guys all were drinking and, letting loose and stuff like that. And I just think it's naive to just think that, he should just be completely on his P's and Q's when this is technically his last night of a single man. And as we saw, nothing truly came of it. He was really just talking smack at the end of the day, flirting. So I don't really think that's the big deal, to be honest. But to each, their own and how they feel about that. So yeah, right now they're my favorites so far. Next couple, let's talk about Clara and Ryan. Clara and Ryan, yes, this is a Caucasian woman with a black man. They both have obviously dated outside their race before. They didn't care about that. I know that many people kind of have like an issue with her jokes in regards to like his last name and how she's just wanted someone with a, ordinary last name, like a Jones, a Black or Brown, whatever. Whereas his, I believe it's because his family's from New Orleans, and then there's some like, I think French down the road too. So like, it's like I actually think it's a really cute name, but the fact that she compared it to like Pig Latin, yeah, that's a little problematic. So we're going to see how that plays out. And then her friends also were saying how Clara's like really big into like the physical and stuff. It makes you think, like, are you implying about his manlyhood? Like, or are you meaning a man who's active in life and stuff like that? I get the feeling they talking about his manlyhood only because of the simple fact that, you know, they were drinking and then, you know, like kind of laughing about it and stuff. So yeah, but I think I sensed he felt a little uncomfortable, but he was a trooper for it, you know? So we're going to see how they play out. I do think that they could work together. I see that her personality is very big. She's definitely a big extrovert. And I don't know if that could be too much for him a little bit. So we're going to see. And then the fact that, you know, he's never told someone he loved them before, which I don't want us to get confused, because just because you never truly said it doesn't mean that you're not capable of saying it. You know, he just probably wasn't in, he probably wasn't in relationships that made it that far. You know what I'm trying to say? That he would open up and get to the core, you know what I'm trying to say, and like feel safe and release it. So we'll see what happens. Virginia and Eric. First of all, Virginia is 26. I think Eric is 34 or something like that. So what is that? 34 and 26. That's like, I think, an 8-year difference or something. So my whole thing is, he's been married before. He was in the service. He's a pilot, you know, and he basically said how, you know, the marriage for like was like military. Like, not to say that he is like talking down on it, but he just makes it really clear, like, he just kind of did it, you know, and obviously he doesn't want to make the mistakes that he made in his past relationship in this one. But he does come off as a very nice gentleman. He comes off also as like conservative in like traditional values and views, you know. Miss Virginia is 26 and she's having a ball. Like, she has fun with her friends. Going out is a real important thing for her to do. And the reality is, something that she said, besides her drinking, but something she said that really made me go, was when she said that she hoped she can still continue to party. She can still continue to do whatever she wants, even though she's married. And here's the thing. When obviously you get married, you are still you. You are who you are. Typically, when you're engaged and, you know, make that next step, you know, you guys agreed that, you know, I know you are who you are as an individual. I am who I am as an individual, but I want us to mesh. You know what I'm saying? I want us to mesh, but you want to mesh without losing yourself. Okay. Common sense. But Virginia, the thought of still wanting to live that party girl lifestyle, to me, is telling. But then on the flip side, she's also revealed that her parents had a very, very messy relationship. We see that dad remarried because her stepmother was a part of the ceremony, which was very nice. But she had a lot of like abandonment issues. So I'm not sure if that's why the constant needing to go out, constant need to party and mingle, probably even the drinking could add to. But to be fair to her, you know, she's 26, she's young, whereas he's 34, he's kind of established in life already. And, you know, I do feel that they were matched because they could bring like some sort of balance to each other. So whereas, yeah, he may be, you know, kind of reserved and like lays it low, but she may bring out of him like, hey, like, you know, loosen up, like, you know, let's party a little bit. Let's do this. Let's explore. She may bring that out of him, which is not a bad thing. And also on his end, because of like the life experiences that he's done, because he's a pilot, whereas that to me, to be a pilot, people's lives are in your hands. You know what I'm trying to say? There's a sense of humility that should be there, humanity actually, that should be there. And he may be able to help her feel safe because he wants others to feel safe as he obviously flies them across the world, across this country and stuff. So he may give some of that safety net that she's longing for. So I do believe that they could work if both are willing to see deeper than the surface. Because I'm telling you, Mama Eric, his mama was not feminine. Her eyes gave it all. Like, I already know. I think she's going to give her the 3rd degree. Okay. But at the same token, when you see the photos of them, like the couple's photos that you can see on like Instagram or whatever on the MAFS Lifetime account, they look so loving. Like, they look so loving. Clara and Ryan, they look so loving. Brianna and Vincent, they look so loving. I'm going to even go here to problematic Chris and say that him and Paige look loving too. We started, I think the end of the episode starts with the beginning of their wedding day, where Chris says, oh-ish. And a lot of people are circulating thinking that the oh-ish is because he thinks she's not attractive. When I actually think the oh-ish is, wow, I'm really doing this. Like, I'm really about to get married, But as I said, like, the photos I've seen of them, to me, they look loving. I don't know. Now, everyone's chewing Chris up online. And it's because, Chris is definitely giving off some vibes from previous gentlemen on the show. And we already are like, red flags. I do feel that Chris has a lot of growing to do. I feel he has potential. But with this bomb that's going to happen with a pregnancy, which the rumor is that it's the ex-fiance or the ex or whatever, that it's actually her that's pregnant. But I don't know. Maybe y'all could correct me. I could have sworn that they didn't take things to that level unless he just, flat out lied, which people do lie, so there's no surprises if he did. But I don't think that the pregnancy is actually Paige. And the thing about it is that, Chris, a lot of people are giving him flack because they feel like he's superficial. They feel like, he's not even that great looking himself. Personally, I feel that he's a good looking guy. I think he's decent. I think Paige is a good looking woman too. I think she is attractive. I think that she may not have like the, conventional beauty that is probably the type of woman he might try to go after. But here's my thing. Like his grandparents said to him, beauty is skin deep. And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it fades. And that's a lesson for all of us, because when it comes down to it, you can be beautiful and handsome. Probably, the most beautiful and handsome person walking this earth. However, one day you're going to get old, and one day those, skincares ain't going to work like they used to work. You're going to get some bags, you're going to get the wrinkles and everything. Gravity's going to hit. Like, it's just not going to be the same. So I really feel like he has to understand that, because the reality is that Paige, she truly checks off everything he asked for. And truthfully, with Paige, the things that she wants, he does check off. Now, I know that there was a big deal about the whole restaurant thing, because people were saying, oh, he told me he owned a restaurant, but meanwhile it's a Subway. And it's probably because, obviously he's a franchise owner. So therefore, if you do own a franchise, you do own a restaurant, and I ain't going to hate on nobody's game, nobody's hustle. But it is funny what people are saying. It is funny. If y'all hear snoring in the background, that's little man. He's snoring while we are waiting for big brother to get home from school. So that's why I was able to sneak this in too. Okay. But I really, really hope that Chris does find Paige attractive, because like I said, I think that she has everything he's looking for. I think that with more growth on his end, he can be everything that she's looking for as well and wants. She's just impressive. Like the fact that she got her own house at the age of 20 by herself. Granted, I know they in Atlanta. They not up here in New York with these New York prices. Okay. But the bottom line is that, she did her schooling. She worked hard. She has ambition, and she made a goal, and she has a house. Like, she made herself get a house at 20. Okay. So I can't knock it. And that's a beautiful thing. And I really hope that his attitude can shift, that it won't be strictly, about looks, that he can see why he was matched with her. And also, not for nothing, let's just be honest. Everybody knows that at the end of the day, when you see someone, It's attraction or it's not. Okay, that's just what it is. I think that some people, and don't get me wrong, because I'm not feeling Chris when he's on that extra superficial stuff either. However, we can't, you know, like we can't completely just crap on him and because he's a guy. Because that's some of the feelings I'm getting though. Because there's a lot of women that, like Brianna, for example, she constantly said, I really, hope that my husband's attractive. I hope, I'm attracted to him. And we're not kind of chewing her up for it. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem with Chris is that he speaks on it so much. And clearly, even his daddy is just like, oh, is she ugly? That's going to be an issue. And it's like, well, here's my thing. You know who you raised. You know your son that you raised. So you raised him, to... things like that. Status is like a real key thing because that's what that is, in my opinion, that's status. But I don't know. I have a good feeling that he's going to see just how wonderful Paige is because I think she's great. I really do. I do. The other couple, as I said to y'all, I apologize. I'm so sorry. So sorry, but I can't recall their names right now. But they're the couple that's the 10-year difference couple. She's 28. He's 38. She's, has like her nice crew of friends that are like, in corporate America kind of thing, or they have their jobs, whatever, and they're doing good, enjoying life, as late 20s. Whereas he's kind of, he's established himself too, but he's also kind of a hermit. He's content with his world and that's that. However, he does seem nice and he does seem gentle. Just going based off their couple photos, I do see that there are, like, there's distance with them. And body language, as we know, says a lot about people. Because, like, obviously, like, even right now, you see that I'm smiling. You see that I'm, like, chipper. So you can kind of think that I'm in a good mood. But, of course, if I'm kind of like, well, yeah, and this and that and blah, 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 and yada, you kind of will get a different... Even if I wasn't speaking, you would get a different feeling to what's being showed. And I think that she is an attractive girl. I think he's okay. He's okay. Not super duper, but he's not, I don't think unattractive, so to speak. But I'm hoping that the two of them do mesh well, but there is an age difference. And to me, age is nothing but a number because I do feel that she's mature from what I've seen, the footage of her, and realistic it seems. So I don't think age will be a big deal to her, but I think it's going to be more so about personality. And she might also be about him being like him having the look that she normally goes for. But once again, one thing I like to tell people at the end of the day is, listen, we always say, not we, but, people, we always say, this is normally my type. This is normally not what I go for. But the reality is that your type might not be working for you, boo. Your type got you stressing. So maybe you need to think outside the box a little bit, do something different, And I think that'll be, good lessons for these people on the show. I think I'm probably going to stop there because the episode is tomorrow. So I really, really want to see what happens. And I'm going to do my best to get back in here and give a review on that. Also, just to tie in the other shows that I do watch, which is Put a Ring on It, Ready for Love. Those reunions were just so out of pocket. They were so out of pocket and people were getting chewed up left and right. Like Denise was getting some flack. Adriana was definitely getting flack. Okay. Calfani was getting flack. Like there's just so many people that's just got some stuff going on. And I'm trying to think out of the 3 seasons, which was my favorite. I want to say it's probably a toss up between season 1 and season 2. It's not to say I didn't enjoy this season, because I did, because like I like these type of shows because I'm able to kind of like study people and watch people, whatever. And I did like it, but I just felt that the characters in this particular season shifted so much. And I'm going to say this, for example, because obviously I don't know these people, right? So I can't truly say who has good intent, who is a good person or not, right? We can't honestly say that because we don't know these folks, you know, just like y'all don't know me and I don't know y'all. But based off what the representation was shown, I was disappointed in Winter because I do feel that she's a very strong woman. I think she's very wise too. And I also think that she does bring a lot to the table. I love her voice. I love how soothing she would be with the gentlemen and talking with them, and even with the ladies. You know, I like that a lot. But I just didn't like how she really, really did her best to try to make it seem as if, you know, Anthony wasn't a top running. And I've been saying this on different pages. Like I've said this on my girl Janice Hilton. I said this on her page, you know, numerous times. She very much so did not even look that man's way until he took his shirt off and showed that he was obviously in shape and things of that nature. But he was always on the back burner. He was not a top contender. Her top choice was Jay, period. And then Edwin tried to get in there a little bit, and she did give him some time of day, but her top choice was always Jay. And to say that, you know, Anthony was up there and this and that and blah, 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 I don't know. I don't really think she was being really honest with that. But nonetheless, you know, they are still in communication. They're trying to see things, like they did try and then it stopped, but they're trying to see where things go. But personally, I don't really think it's going anywhere. But what can you do? We know that Calfani picked Adriana. We also know that as soon as he got home, he had a love letter taped to his door and he dropped Adriana off. Like, it was that simple. His ex was like, okay, we back together, right? Like, you doing this show, but when you come home, you know what it is. And that's exactly what happened. Okay? So, Adriana picked Calfani. I wish it would have been Rashid, because I feel like Rashid was the type of gentleman she needed in her life, but clearly she didn't really like him like that, and clearly she didn't really respect him either, because when a man was speaking his truth and speaking his feelings, she and the Calfani was still kikiing up while the man's talking, which was rude as hell. But you know, what can you do, right? Look, it ain't there, but I just felt like when Rashid wanted to exclude himself and leave, I don't know if it was her or if it was production, but you should have just let him leave. You know what it was. You know what I'm saying? You knew what it was, and that's all that needs to happen. He was ready to go on his merry way and exclude himself out, but yet you told him to stay. You dealt this, and then, you know, daddy had his meet him and all this stuff, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, you end up still picking Calfani. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and I hope that Rashid, you know, finds someone one day who can, you know, meet him at where he is and understand what he could possibly bring to the table. And Denise. First of all, I have to say, I love and respect a very strong Black woman. Nothing's wrong with that. I don't like to have narratives about Black women being, you know, aggressive and things of that tone whenever they want to speak passionately, whenever they want to express their feelings, that they're aggressive and things like that. I don't like that, and I don't entertain all of that either. However, Denise disappointed me with her lack of honesty. And the reason why I say that is because she clearly had strong feelings for Calfani. When Adriana got into the mix of that, she definitely went into territory mode. And she also was kind of starting with Adriana. And I don't know if it's that she felt threatened. She said she didn't. Or whatever. She made comments about Rashid, you know, because little jokes Rashid was saying, she made a comment of saying that he's a narcissist. He reminds her of this narcissist person from her past. I personally don't like things like that because narcissism is very serious and very real. Okay. And it's not a good personality disorder to have or trait to have, any of it. Right. And I feel that Rashid was completely the opposite of that, if anything. And I also feel that, Rashid being the only gentleman there of lighter complexion, it's kind of like, did you target after him? Just be honest. He wasn't your cup of tea, and that was it. There was no need to say those remarks at all. Be honest. You did not like Adriana because she was the competition when it came to Kalfani. Period. And when you apologize, really sincerely, I'm up close with this one, sincerely apologize. Don't have acid, because I'd rather you just not say it at all. You called this man a narcissist. You made comments about his complexion, but I put money on it if he said back that you remind me of an angry, dark-skinned black woman that I've dated in the past, that the whole world would be up in arms about it. Okay? So she lost points with me with that. But like I said, I love me a strong black woman who is able to stand on her own 10 toes, 2 feet down. Okay? But her execution, she still needs to heal from. And you know what? We all got traumas. We all got stuff that we're learning to do better with. We're coming from, recovering from, or even still present with. And we're just like going through the motions. But just own it. Own your truth, Denise. Okay? Because like I said, I think you in the core, I think you really fly. I really do. I think you fly out here. But at the same token, it ain't fly. Okay? Coming at people. Pretending you're not feeling threatened by somebody when you are. Because she could have said flat out, Adriana, you right. I definitely came for you because you was the op. You was a competition. I wanted him. You did too. So I wasn't going to be friendly with you. Period. I would have so much more respect for her. But to say like, oh no, I ain't never had no problem with you. Or, oh no, I wasn't this. That's a whole lie, Denise. So stop. Okay? But hopefully, and she looks really good at the reunion too. Like I actually like the blonde hair a lot on her. It looks good. All of these experiences that the peeps was going through could be learning experiences. I know some of y'all got clout from it and all of that, whatever, but I really hope that they do learn from this experiment and can, eventually one day be ready to love. Oh, and how could I forget Naya. And you the last one I want to speak on. When I say Naya did a 180 for me, Naya did a 180 for me. And this goes back to, like I said, this season, the characters just switched it up. And that's what was hard for me to digest. Naya was, to me, I felt an attractive woman with a nice figure. I also felt that she was very clear when it came to Chris of what, she was vibing with. And I just think that it was really good stuff going there, But then, obviously, when they had the conversation about money and how money is to be done and dealt with, his response about 50-50 or whatever the case is, he lost her with that. And I honestly feel that if that's the type of relationship that you want to be in, whereas, the man is taking care of the finances, I'm not mad at her for having those strong feelings. What I'm mad at her for having is the audacity to play and undermine Chris as if he ain't mean nothing, when you was boo loving with him majority of the time that you've been on the show. It spoke volumes. And to me, there's no way you can tell me that y'all ain't have like somewhat or some sort of way of knowing where someone stood financially. First of all, Chris, I'm sure he's doing well for himself. He doesn't have children. He's a radio show host after hours. I'm not exactly sure how much money they make, but I do believe they're comfortable from other VJs and DJs and stuff in the radio industry and music industry. I'm just saddened that, because I thought that they did have potential, but I'm just saddened that Naya couldn't execute that a little better, and that she had to be messy. She made up lies that she admitted to. But now, you know, she's talking with Edwin now. And I don't know. We're going to see what happened with that for sure, but I don't know. But it's really interesting. The last show was Put a Ring on It. I can't believe I've been talking 30 minutes. Sorry. The last show is Put a Ring on It. And I feel that that was a good show, good concept. I feel like the couple I want to discuss the most is Ashley and Hollywood and Shay and David. I'll start with Shay and David. Shay, you know, started off with basically wanting for, you know, is it David or is it Michael? I think it's David. Or was it? No, it's Michael. I'm sorry, Michael. It started off with wanting Michael to propose, and they have history, breakups to makeups and all that stuff, but they still got to be aligned together, which, you know, it's cool. And he went on multiple dates with a young lady, Whitney, which I feel Whitney is absolutely stunning. Whitney, you are a beautiful girl. Okay, if you ever hear this video, you know, absolutely stunning. And I do think there was attraction there for sure, but I know that the heart won't, like, you know, the heart still chooses what we should do for the most part. So he did not choose to continue with Whitney, and he did eventually obviously propose to Shay. But what got me with Shay was, and I'm not sure if this was really genuine feelings or if it was production again to add the drama. But, you know, he has, I think, what is it, 12-year-old, 13-year-old son that he wanted to come stay with him, and which I'm all for, because it's nothing like a man who wants to take responsibility of his, you know, of his seed, his kids, and do right by them, especially having a boy. You know, mama has done a lot for that child, I'm sure. But the reality is there's certain things about manhood that only a daddy can really teach, or another male figure, period. Like, I'm not going to say I have 2 boys, okay? And I think that I am doing a hell of a good job, the best that I can. But at the end of the day, I can't teach my sons how to be men. I could teach them how to treat a woman, but I can't teach them how to treat, you know, how to be a man, though. That's my husband. That's what I want him to do. You know what I'm saying? And he does well so far by obviously being the example, okay? So the fact that he wants his son to be with him, to live with him, stay with him while he's going into high school, and Shay had a problem with that, didn't make no sense to me, because you knew he had a kid. He had a kid before you met him. You know that when it comes down to it, if it was reversed and you had a child, you will want your child to be accepted, and you will want that your mate to understand that you are 2 person package. So you get one, you get the other. Period. And you're going to be a bonus mom or a bonus dad. Like, we got to keep that energy on the same level. It doesn't matter if she's a woman or not. She was dead ass wrong for that. And like I said, some of it didn't really make sense to me, because, like, I felt like she quickly kind of got out of it. I'm not sure if it was like the pressure of him dating Whitney more, or if it was just production in general that was telling her to make those statements and to kind of like make the argument. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm happy she snapped her ass out of that and got it together. And I'm sure that her and Mike will definitely figure it out and we'll be fine. Like, this is not like a little baby we're talking about. This is a kid who's, you know, 12, 13, whatever. And I'm sure is definitely independent in his way. You know what I'm saying? So life can still continue on. Don't worry. You're not really going nowhere because COVID. So you all right. Ashley and Hollywood were a really, really interesting pair and a really interesting couple to watch. I actually did enjoy their discussions. However, with Ashley, I wanted her to be more honest. I feel Ashley does not want to hurt Hollywood's feelings. I felt she didn't want to hurt Kwame's feelings. But the reality is that I think she's very, very much attracted to Kwame. I think that she still is, because I saw on, I forgot this gentleman's YouTube page, but I think it was like, is it Little Black Book or Black Book, something like that? I'm sorry, sir, if I, messed your channel name up wrong. But he actually showed a clip that Ashley was live and Kwame hopped on her live and they ended up having a conversation. And in my opinion, I think that was very inappropriate. Like, I can't see myself picking and choosing to, pick my mate and not the new person, but yet still conducting and talking in a way clearly showing that feelings are still there. I don't think that was appropriate, and which makes me believe even more. And then the fact that, they haven't set a wedding date and they're not really talking about marriage. She's really burnt and hurt from Hollywood and what happened in their past. And I really want her to just, whatever it means, whatever it takes, to just think of her first and make decisions accordingly instead of not wanting to hurt someone's feelings and such. Because at the end of the day, wasted time hurts folks' feelings too. Okay? And life is incredibly too short. Hollywood, like most men, I feel emotionally, I don't want to say he was completely unavailable because he did a lot of work, I felt, with the program and with the show with Dr. Nicole. I felt he did do work with that. He started to express himself in a different manner. Before, he was just like going off to 1,000, going on 10, whereas eventually he did take a different route and calm down and spoke more peacefully. But like most men, emotionally, some of them are very undeveloped with that. Some of them lack it. Some of them they just not present with it. And I don't think he truly, gets the magnitude of the hurt he caused. What Ashley should have done was end it, and then they start from scratch all over. And then there should have been the second proposal. But I don't think she allowed herself, like something that Dr. Nicole brought up was, you still angry at yourself for staying. And I think Dr. Nicole was definitely on the money when she said that, because she is angry about the fact that she stayed. But whose decision was that? So overall, pretty good show, pretty good concept. And I'm not going to just, not talk about the other two, but Tamika and Vince, they actually came around, and I'm very proud of them. I see a lot of successful things in their future. I saw the growth that happened with them because they had some real fireworks up in there. And because Vince also, he had a problem with her bringing up the past and clearly things that she wasn't truly healed from. And that's one thing I like to tell people. You cannot tell someone when they should get over something. You got to be patient, especially if you want their forgiveness and you want to be with them. You have to be patient. And Vince wasn't doing that at first. And eventually he did. And he started to get it. And in turn, Tamika, she started to tone it down. She started to understand that he is working hard to be the better man that she needed and needs. So I'm happy that, they definitely did a nice 180. They did the experiment. They did it, they did the dates and all that stuff, and they still ended up coming back home, and I'm excited for them. There was another couple on the show, and unfortunately had to leave because her father had his health declined very quickly, and he eventually ended up passing away. But if there's anything about death, I can tell you, it can either bring people closer together or it can bring them apart. I always try to hope and preach that people can come closer together when it happens. 5.5 years ago, I lost my father. And if anybody knows me, they know that I'm a big daddy's girl. Me and my father had a wonderful father-daughter relationship. He was definitely my best friend. And I can tell you that when he passed, a part of me went with him. And it's not easy when you're trying to get back to life and you're trying to be present with your other loved ones and other people who need you in life. If you don't truly feel supported, or if you don't truly feel that others get what you're going through or where you are. So I want to say, from seeing the reunion and how the couple is, it seems like it did bring them closer, and they are still working towards taking that step. And I love that because, you know, the boyfriend, like I said, I'm very sorry, I can't recall their name right now, but he loved and respected her father like he was his dad, in which I think he even said in the season that, you know, he pretty much didn't really have a great relationship with his own father, and that her dad like took him under, you know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful. And because of that, I think they're going to go the distance. I think that he's going to see the type of woman she is because of the relationship she had with her dad. And he's going to do his best. He can't fill the void, but he's going to do his best to make sure she feels safe. Because that's a key word here too, feeling safe. And clearly, her daddy, she felt safe with. And she wants to make sure she feels safe with her partner. And I think that he's going to continue to prove that she can feel safe with him. So, all right, guys. It's been 41 minutes of me talking your ear off. But you know what? That's me catching up because my tail was going for months. Months at a time. But there will be some things I'm going to be bringing to y'all attention soon. Not yet, but soon. And y'all see little man stretching out. So that's definitely my cue. I gotta go. So anyway, love you all. Thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share if you want, and give me some feedback and what's your thoughts on anything I dropped in here, whether it's the Married at First Sight stuff, Ready to Love stuff, and put a ring on it. Okay, let's drop it down there. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.